What a vibe. I fell in love with Bologna immediately. The moment I got there, I felt this massive weight just lift off my shoulders that I didn't even know was there from my days in the big city. Everybody around was so happy and relaxed, and why wouldn't you be? I mean, just look at this place. Every single street I've walked down in this city has been just like this. The very sizable city centre is nearly entirely comprised of these beautifully preserved late medieval and Renaissance buildings. Bologna had the shit bombed out of it during World War II by the Allies, who were actually planning on bombing somewhere else nearby, but it was cloudy over there, so Bologna copped it. After the war, they really prioritised restoring and preserving these buildings, and they have done an absolutely amazing job, not only preserving that heritage, but also finding ways to memorialise the destruction that took place. The best example of that is the university. Oldest continually operating university in Europe, in the world, I think, founded in 1088. Its students included Dante Alighieri, who wrote the Inferno, Paracelsus, one of the top alchemists, philosophers, and kind of proto-toxicologists of the time, Petrarch, Pico della Mirandola, one of the most important thinkers of the Renaissance, Thomas Becket, and Umberto Eco, whose book, Foucault's Pendulum, I'd happened to bring with me on my travels, knowing absolutely nothing about its author or contents. All along the walls are beautiful crests containing the names of people who studied here and the coat of arms of their family or the town that they happened to be from, just in case they weren't noble-born. And the fact that this university even accepted students who weren't noble-born is pretty amazing for its time. In the centre of this immaculate and ornate wooden chamber, beneath the beautifully sculpted Greek gods watching from the ceiling above, human bodies would be sliced open on this table for all to see. The smell of viscera would fill the room, hence the high ceilings and the well-set back seating. The university also houses this library of antiquities. You can't take books out, unfortunately, but it's quite a collection. As ever in Italy, many beautiful churches here. A very different style, more subdued, softer lighting, interesting textures. I really thought nothing was going to top the Duomo di Milano for me. And yeah, you can't beat seeing something of that scale for the first time. But for me, there's actually kind of something more tasteful about this. Now you might notice there's something a bit odd about this building. You see it? Take a closer look. Yeah, you see it? Yeah, it's half decorated. They did the bottom half, and then it looks like they just gave up, which is apparently what happened. The Pope visited Bologna to see where his money was going, took one look at it, shat himself at the thought of Rome getting upstaged, and basically cut their funding. Some years ago, a vote was held about whether to continue the work, but the local people went, nah, this is part of our history, let's keep it like this. It also contains one of the most famous and controversial medieval Inferno paintings, which is a depiction of all of the people that medieval Christendom didn't like burning in hell and getting eaten by demons, which rather awkwardly includes the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So yeah, there's been a few attempts to blow it up, which is why they have crazy 24/7 security around it, and you're not allowed to take photos. But I did go see it, and I have to say, if you like wild apocalyptic religious symbolism, you're gonna love this shit. Love the whole mixed mode street thing. It's just like cars, cyclists, pedestrians, motorbikes, scooters, just everywhere. Kind of like, I don't know, it's weird. I mean, you know, there are places where there's marked out cycleways and stuff, but there's also a lot of streets where it's, I don't know, people just wing it. People just wing it and it's fine. Haven't seen anyone get run over yet. I haven't gotten run over yet. I did almost get taken out by a cyclist just before because I wasn't looking properly, but, you know. The food was incredible. I bought a punnet of strawberries, ate one, and thought, shit, I am never going to enjoy kiwi strawberries ever again. Just so much sweeter. And yeah, maybe it was the travel glow, because I thought the tomatoes were sweeter too, and everything else kind of tasted sweeter. But also, we do artificially ripen a lot back in Aotearoa, so it might be a thing. I got some tasty vegan gelato, and I went to lunch and then dinner at an amazing vegan cafe called Uno Cafe. Such good food. Oh my god, this was amazing. I wish I could remember exactly what it was. It's got some pears, it's got some kind of cheese substitute, it's potato maybe? I don't know. It was delicious. The staff were really lovely and friendly and helpful. Went to this pub called Osteria del Sol, which is the oldest pub in Bologna. It's been operating more or less continuously since 1465. Lots of interesting stores here. My highlight was a store which sold a combination of local communist memorabilia and tarot cards, which, I dropped my pen with excitement just at the thought of it. And the owner was super lovely. I bought this pack of tarocchi cards, which is kind of like a proto-tarot deck from before tarot was a thing. And for just a few euro, this Italian Communist Party membership card, which means I'm all sorted for my time travel adventure to help the Italian resistance. Bologna's near the top of my list of must-go-back places, and almost completely free of tourists, which, honestly, this was a theme throughout my travels. It's like there's a handful of places that the average American tourist who goes to see their travel agent will summon to mind when they're thinking Italy or France. You go to those places in summer, they're nuts. You go anywhere else, even like pretty major cities like Bologna. I mean, the population is like bigger than where I live. So much history, architecture, everything you could want, and yet no tourists. Almost no tourists. A few. Maybe they got put off by this, I don't know. But people are actually quite friendly. It must look like I'm high as a kite. I'm just walking around with the goofiest fucking grin on my face. I just can't believe this exists. This place. It's phenomenal. Oh, that's cute. Look at that. Oh. And then I went to Florence.